Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel JP3093 Classic review. Today we're taking a look at the Track and Explore vehicle set. Now this is a pretty cool and unique set. First of all, we have a repaint of the very elusive Scutosaurus. The original version of this figure drove us collectors nuts a few years ago. One of the harder to find figures from Mattel. And we have this new color scheme for the Explorer. Now what makes this set so interesting, both of these are homages to unreleased figures from the Kenner Jurassic Park Series 2 line. So it's pretty cool. Mattel did this nice little homage to these unreleased figures. So now we can finally add them to our collection. Now, since the set is part of the 93 Classic line, it is exclusive to Target stores in the US. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you want to order one for yourself. It retails for $34.99. So let's go over the packaging really quick before we crack this vehicle and figure open. We got the 93 Classic logo front and center just above the Scutosaurus, and just above the Explorer you can see the JP30 logo blocked by the missile launcher. We have the Jurassic Park logo front and center. We have this beautiful Kenner style backdrop for the back of the packaging, and spinning around we get a nice diorama product shot, reminiscent of the old Kenner style packaging. And down here are the rest of the figures in the 93 Classic line. I really hope Mattel has more of these figures in store, because they can just do, homages to all the Kenner figures. Let's get the camera to focus in. And I will buy them all. I just love this nostalgia stuff. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. And here is the whole set of the packaging. And I really like this one. I love the garish colors on the Explorers. It just kind of reminds me of the Chaos Effect line. It's just done in this like bluish purple color. You have a wild decal on the hood. You got the Jurassic Park logo highlighted by all that lemon yellow. We have rocket fire and missile. Like, this thing just screams 90s. And the Scutosaurus also looks great. I think it's one of the better molds in the main line from Mattel, and I just love the bright orange mixing in with all that dark blue and white. Kind of wished it looked a little bit more like the original prototype from Kenner with the blue highlights along the belly, but it is what it is. Just all around, I think it's a really cool set, and it's cool that they went back and just made this homage of canceled figures, because I hope they go back and do a few others. I think there was a canceled like Gulper Rex that was done in a green coloration. It'd be cool to see Mattel go back and just bring back some of those canceled Kenner figures in this form. Now, time for some quick measurements. The Scutosaurus is 6 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or 15.25 centimeters, and 2.5 inches tall to the top of the head, or 6.3 centimeters. So Scutosaurus in real life is between 8 to 10 feet long, or 2.5 to 3 meters. So I'll put this figure in the 116 to the 120 scale range. And now for the Explorer, this vehicle is 10.5 inches long from the front of the vehicle to the back, or 26.6 centimeters, and 6 inches tall to the top of the missile launcher, or 15.25 centimeters. And now let's first take a look at the Jungle Explorer. I have to say, I really like the vibrant colors on here. It mostly uses the same mold as the original Jungle Explorer, obviously with some modifications. You've got the Jurassic Park logo properly displayed on both doors. You've got that nice purple color highlighted with the black, contrasted with all that bright yellow. Just love the deco on here. You have this really cool logo on the front. Looks like a silhouette of a T-Rex head. You've got stickers for the front lights on the guard for the grill. You've got stickers for the front headlights. And then on the sides, it's the same tires as the original Jungle Explorer. No paint on the tires. All the doors do open. You do get a nice interior. And then you got the steering wheel, the dashboard. Lots of molded detail inside the vehicle. And let's take a look at the back. You got a seat for at least 4 figures. You probably could squeeze 5 in there in the back. And then going down to the back of the car, you do have the license plate number 7. Same thing. Back headlights are all decals. And then moving on to the top, we do have this wonderful missile launcher, and you can actually position a figure on it using the peg holes right here and hold it on to the handlebars, and you can actually move this around a lot. The armature is really tight on here, but you can get the missile launcher pointing from the side. So I like that option, that you can get different heights and posability with that rocket launcher. And on the front windshield, you do have this protective cage, which does lift up, revealing the windshield. So yeah, all around a really fun vehicle, nice rolling action. And the missile launcher is activated with a push of the button on the top. Then it fires with great force, and now the missile's behind my bed. You do get a capture gear accessory with this set. Nice little snare that's made out of soft, flexible material, and it does fit nicely over the Scutosaurus's head with a little bit of finagling. Those horns get in the way, but yeah, you can use this snare on pretty much any of the smaller to mid-sized dinosaurs. It's always nice to have some more capture gear to add to your collection. And you do have storage for the snare. You can stick it in one of these holes on the back of the missile launcher, and also, if you feel like it, there's another peg right here, and you can store this also on the side of the vehicle. I guess you can store it this way so you don't mess up the loop on the snare. So you do have a couple storage options for that. Now for vehicle comparisons, here it is with the original Jungle Explorer, and let's just do a couple more vehicles. Here it is with the Jeep Wrangler, and lastly, here it is with the Lost World InGen vehicle. And now let's take a closer look at the Scutosaurus. Back when the original Scutosaurus came out in Primal Attack, I consider that mold really well done, and it still holds true for this one. This one is just a simple repaint. Whole figure is done in this really bright orange coloration. You have dark blue markings around the head and along the body. A couple of the horns are painted in. On the original, all these horns were painted in white. I don't know why they skipped out on those paint apps on here. It would have made the head look a little bit more defined. This looks a little bit too orange with just these couple horns on each side painted in. Here is a view of the head from the front. What an adorable looking head. Here it is from the top. You can see all that nice molded detail, lots of nice scale variation all over this figure. Very well done. Going down to the legs, the front legs are just cast in that white plastic. It would be nice to see, transition of orange on there, but you do have some white transition onto the body. But really nice if they actually did the blue outline for the white along the belly to make it look more like the original prototype. But hey, it is what it is. At least they did a homage to an unreleased figure. And then going down to the body, you got more large osteoderms, large rows of spikes along the top. And right here is the DNA code for those who don't want to scan this into the Fax app. And then going down to the legs, you can see the legs are nicely sculpted. My camera is definitely picking up in person. The orange on the back legs and tail are different than the body. It must be my camera picking it up, but in person you can barely tell the difference. You get some more large osteoderms all over those nicely sculpted legs, even on the elbows and forearms of the front legs. Toe claws on painted, pretty typical of any mainline figure, and a very short, adorable tail. So all around, this figure is very nicely sculpted. Just wish the paint apps were just a little bit better. Now for articulation, head can move side to side. You get a little upwards and downward movement on that ball joint. With the neck, you can have it go side to side, up and down. Front legs can move forwards and backwards. Hind legs, same thing, backwards and forwards. And really tight. There's a locking point right here to keep it in a neutral position. And then going down to the tail, there's very little tail movement. Wish it was on a ball joint to get some up and down movement, but pretty standard articulation for a mainline figure. Now for comparisons, here it is with the original Primal Attack Scutosaurus. I prefer the Primal Attack version over this new one. I think this one is just much better painted and looks a lot better in my opinion, but like I said, still pretty cool that they based this on an unreleased toy. And lastly, here's a nice group shot of the whole entire 93 classic line. I have to say, Mattel did a really good job paying homage to those great Kenner toys of old. I like pretty much everything in this whole line. If I had to rank them, the Red Rex is definitely my favorite. I've been waiting for Mattel forever to do a homage to the Red Rex, and this toy turned out really good. Next up is the Gallimimus Alan Grant set. I think that whole set is a great value. Next is this Jungle Explorer set with the Scutosaurus. And lastly is the Dilophosaurus set with Ian Malcolm. I do like that set, but I feel like you got more value with the Grant set for what you got included with it. But as a whole, this is a great start for the Jurassic Park 30th celebration. And I hope Mattel has more retro sets planned for the near future, because I will definitely be buying them. So, final thoughts on this new set. I think it's a good set. The Jungle Explorer is a really fun vehicle to play around with. Missile launcher works great. Just love how you can adjust the different positions for the launcher. Love the deco on it, just that purple and yellow. It just looks really, really nice, and like it has that nice 90s retro vibe to it. The Scutosaurus is a good toy. That's probably the main reason you're going to pick up the set. A lot of people missed out on the Primal Attack Scuto, so now's your chance to add this very elusive species to your collection. The orange deco with the blue looks nice. Just wish it looked a little bit more like the original prototype. I think that would have went a long way. But as a whole, I really enjoyed this set and definitely don't regret picking it up. Now, like I said at the beginning of the review, these sets are exclusive to Targets in the US. This one retails for 35 bucks. The link to order it is down below in the description. You can also find them in stores. This line's still new, so they're popping up here and there, but I'm sure it's just in a few more weeks they're going to be absolutely everywhere, clogging the shelves. So that will do it for the review. Now the whole 93 Classic line is finally done on the channel. Now I can move on to that highly requested Hammer Collection Pachycephalosaurus that everyone's been waiting for. That will be up on the channel really soon. I have a couple more figures from Holland Good to review. I got the Dino Trackers Nothosaurus. So yeah, a lot of new reviews coming up on the channel, so stay tuned for all of that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on the channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.